Johnson, real quickly, your thoughts.
We hand off to Herschel. There's a hole. 5, 10, 12. He's running over people. Oh, you Herschel Walker. My God almighty, he ran right through 2 men.
Parker, yesterday was the best day of the year.
Yes,
Opening Saturday of SEC football. Bro, I woke up yesterday morning feeling so good.
Oh, I forgot you don't have me on Snapchat, dude. I was waking up. I was sending people videos. I was dancing in my car. I was grinning. I was telling people I was just
Christmas Eve.
No, it really was, bro.
Bro.
I had trouble sleeping on Friday night.
Dude, I was so excited. And honestly, like, I feel like opening weekend was perfect for 2020.
Oh, it
Like,
was perfect.
Perfect. Like, I want us to go just through both sides of the division, the conference, and just start with the East. Or actually, let's start with the West, because we can talk through the East. I mean, I guess there are a lot of crossover games, so we'll just start. I've got the results pulled up. I'm just going to go game by game. We can talk about each result, what we thought, and everything. So the first one on here is Kentucky and Auburn.
Yep.
So I actually thought Kentucky had a chance to win this game. I think Kentucky's got a really good offensive line, obviously. They've got Smoke back this year, who is a really good back. But the biggest thing to me was Wilson being back, having him back at quarterback. And I just really believe in Mark Stoops. I think Mark Stoops is underrated as a coach as a whole.
Oh, yeah, we've talked about
and he's
that.
obviously committed to Kentucky. Like, he got offered the Florida State job and turned it down, which even though Florida State's been down, that's like a marquee job in college football. So
Not anymore.
Well, I mean, dude, it's bad over there. Bad.
Bro, they got molly whopped.
I know. Bad.
They got gangbanged.
But, I mean, I thought Kentucky could have won that game. Auburn ended up winning by 16 points, I think. Yeah, 29-13. And that was off of 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Going in the fourth quarter, it was 15-13. Auburn.
They had a pick 6 too as well.
Do what?
Kentucky was about to score a touchdown. I believe Auburn had a pick 6 in the red zone.
They had a pick 6. They had a 100-yard return that got negated.
Yeah. Oh, did it get negated? Okay, that's what I didn't.
Well,
That's right.
Here's what happened. I think I didn't get to watch the game, but I watched highlights.
I was in and out of it. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, it was intercepted. There was a targeting after the interception, and they maintained possession, but they didn't get the pick 6.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts there? Did you expect Auburn to just win? Did you think it was going to be a close game?
I thought that it would be close in the first half. First of all, Kentucky's running back, like Kavase Smoke.
Yeah.
Does that not sound like something you put on the grill? Like, I'm gonna have some Kavase Smoke tonight. Throw some Kavase Smoke on the grill. Throw some Kavase on the grill.
It sounds like a really expensive brand of alcohol or something.
I think it sounds like some expensive sausage.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I thought it would be close in the first half, and then I figured Auburn would pull away. I didn't think Kentucky had. It's just more about talent to me. Like, I think Kentucky's a better coach team. I think they have a good offensive line, but I thought Kentucky would keep it close, but I didn't think they'd win.
And the bottom line is, man, Kentucky's come a long way. Obviously, like, there's no denying that, but they still just don't have the dudes that Auburn has.
Yeah.
You know, they're not landing like those 5-star and 4-star guys at the same rate that Auburn is. And we see that a lot in these SEC games where one team is, you know, like a Florida or a Georgia or an Alabama or an Auburn or an LSU versus these mid-tier to low-tier teams where the recruiting is just there's such a big gap in the recruiting that you see the athlete on athlete really play a part in how games go.
Yeah, I mean, that's what wins these teams. I mean, you saw it in a couple other games, but at the end of the day, a lot of these games just boil down to talent sometimes.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, there's a reason you recruit 5-stars, right? Like if it was all about coaching, then, you know, guys would not worry so much about getting the best player, but it's not all about coaching. Like, coaching's probably like, I would say I think coaching's probably like 30 to 35% of what makes you win. Like
really, I say way more than that.
way more.
I say talent.
I'm not talking about schemes. I'm talking about development and like actual
Like play calling.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about play calling and schemes. That's more. I'm talking about like if you take
That's
an
coaching.
athlete and making him better, like developing him into something more than he is right now. Like if you take an athlete who plays receiver, the coach is there's not a ton the coach can do unless you're like an elite coach to make him that much better than he already is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of it is just, I mean, if we're playing man-to-man defense, the best athlete's going to win 80% of the time.
Oh no, I'm with you.
You know what I mean? Now, if we're talking play calling and stuff, it goes way up.
Oh yeah.
Terms of how much coaching affects it. But there are certain teams that could have the best, like take recruiting out of it on an even playing field. You know, coaching's going to factor in more. But if one team got all 5 stars, and you know, if Nick Saban coaches, you know, San Jose State, they're not winning the national championship unless he recruits 5 stars and 4 stars.
Well, that's why he knows he's got to recruit.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm saying the coaching is like of less effect on the game other than just pure athleticism and dudes on dudes.
Unless you're Mike Leach, baby.
Oh my gosh, we'll get to that game for sure. So the big thing for me in the Auburn-Kentucky game is that
I think both teams are solid.
Do what?
I think both teams are solid.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think that, you know, this is week 1 is going to be weird always for everybody. I still think Kentucky is in the top 3 in the East. I don't think Tennessee's better than Kentucky. I don't think South Carolina's better than Kentucky. Vandy sure is not better than Kentucky. So it's going to be interesting what happens with them down the road. And, you know, Mark Stoops is going to eventually win some of these big games. You know,
he's won big games.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like,
but like consistently.
Yes, exactly. I think eventually he's going to be a guy that no matter who he plays, we think, you know, Kentucky has a chance to win if he stays there. And I think he's committed to staying there. And honestly, like, why wouldn't you be? You know, you're
putting money towards it.
People to come to the school. You're getting better recruits.
He's going to leave.
When though? Like, who's going to hire?
When he gets a better job offer than Florida State.
But what kind of school do you think is going to offer him?
The kind of school that was willing to pay a shit ton of money.
So you're thinking like maybe out of conference?
Definitely out of conference.
So like Big 10, Big 12, something like that?
I don't think he'd go to an SEC school yet. I think he'd go out of conference and come back. But I think he'd go – I'm trying to think of like – I don't know because there's no ACC school that I think he'd go to. Like,
yeah, I think he might stay for a while, man.
I mean, I think he'd stay for a while, but I think ultimately he'd get the bag.
Like, oh, yeah. I mean, if somebody just throws crazy money.
Potentially Big 10. Like, I mean.
But do you think he's at that point where somebody would throw him crazy money?
No, but colleges are stupid.
Dude, we need to do a whole episode.
They threw Willie Taggart big money. Like,
yeah, but there was a point where people thought Willie Taggart was like a coach.
I never thought so.
But the
man never had above 500 record. No. I'm talking about when Florida was hiring him. I was like, Florida was potentially looking to hire him. I was like, hell no, I don't want him.
Bro, I wish they had hired Willie Taggart.
I know.
That would have been so funny.
The fucking GOAT, baby.
Like, that would have been so funny.
It would have been, but guess what? We did it.
Yeah. All right, so the next game on my list is Florida at Ole Miss. So, obviously, you watched that game, so just break it down for me.
Break it down. Here's the quick breakdown for you. Kyle Trask win the fucking Heisman. Offense explosive. Defense needs some work. But let me just say this before you start shitting and being like, oh, man, you gave up 30 points to Ole Miss. Let me make a good point. Like you said, and I'm willing to admit and say that defense wasn't good enough for me. And we should not be happy with that defensive performance. As a Gator fan, yes. However, I was looking up a little something earlier today because I was like, this little asshole's going to come on here and be like, you let Ole Miss score 30 points. I don't want to hear anything about Stetson Bennett because we beat him, blah, 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 blah. Listen here, bub. Ole Miss last year scored 30 or more points in multiple SEC games, most notably against Alabama and LSU. And they weren't nearly as well coached on the offensive side, as well as they had this pretty much the same amount of talent because no one really left.
Hold on. Big difference. It's a new offense and a new play caller and
a better play caller and a better offense.
It doesn't matter. Just changing offensive systems will take a team back.
Yeah, maybe Georgia.
Oh my God.
But this is Ole Miss, playa, because guess what? They had the talent. Okay, Tripp, Lane Kiffin, who's a premier offensive play caller, and it doesn't matter. And besides, you saw him slow down anyway. They had their first good series, bada bing, bada boom, a couple missed tackles. Here we are. Look, all I'm saying is I'm happy with it week one. When you beat an SEC team, it is what it is. Florida's offense is scary as shit. So you better hope that the defense struggles this year, because we're going to be freaking rolling, baby.
I mean, here's my big takeaway. Florida had multiple scores in each quarter. That's a big deal. So 14 points in the first, 14 points in the second, 13 points in the third, and 10 in the fourth. That's a big deal no matter what team you're talking about. 2 scores every quarter, awesome job, big deal. However, you are playing Ole Miss. And when I called you last night and we got at each other's throats, my point was that when I said something about Ole Miss, you were an Ole Miss apologist. They're better than you think. They have so much talent. Lane Kiffin this, Lane Kiffin that, whatever.
No.
But then hold up. But when I talk about Georgia and Arkansas, you're like, Arkansas is the worst team in the league. Bro.
They are, bro.
Bro. First off, you really think Arkansas will lose to Vandy?
That's a close one. I don't know. Vanderbilt almost beat A&M.
Yeah, but we'll get to that game, but I still don't. I'm not buying. We'll get there.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just not buying Jimbo. I'm just not.
But
staying on Florida, Ole Miss. Anytime you score 50 points against an SEC team, it's a big deal. But Ole Miss's defense does not compare to the defenses you're going to play later in the year.
No, I agree with that.
Okay, so I will say this. Kyle Trask is the real deal.
Really?
I have not been willing to say that because I do believe in Dan Mullen as a QB coach. I mean, if you look at Felipe Franks last night versus Georgia compared to what he did under Dan Mullen, I think you can see that. And I think that Kyle Trask is a guy who a lot of people were super high on, and I just don't think that, sustained success is the real measure of how good somebody is. Because Jake Fromm at one point was a world beater, and we saw last year him really struggle. So, to me, sustained success is like the big deal. And Kyle Trask coming out and throwing for 400-plus yards
and 6 touchdowns.
Shows me that he's the real deal. Now, can he do that against defenses like Georgia, Alabama, things like that is the question, right? I do think that Florida deserves to be ahead of Georgia in the rankings, but I've also this year I don't care about rankings as much as I would have with it being just conference only.
Yeah.
Because it's really just about who wins the conference championship at this point. Like, as far as who gets in the playoff, I'm not as worried about rankings as I have been in the past.
It's kind of been like that every year, though. Whoever wins.
Yeah, but there's something different about this year, man, with the way the rankings.
I think we're more prone to have 2 SEC teams with this season than we are.
And that's why I'm not as worried about it. Is because
But you should be though, because the rankings are going to determine that.
Sure, but let's say Georgia loses 1 game in the regular season and it's Florida, and Florida goes to the SEC championship game.
Yep.
And then Florida beats Alabama. I think Georgia would be the second SEC team into the playoffs, or vice versa.
It depends, how bad Georgia loses their wins, and the same thing with Alabama. The
Bama too.
Yeah, but there's going to be a lot of eye test stuff this year that, like, you're going to have to win. Like, if you're going to want to go to college football playoff as a non-conference champion, you're going to have to pass. You're going to have to wax teams, except your one loss.
We need to do an episode about this, but I really think this year they should honestly do a 16 playoff, and Power 5 champions should make it, and a group of 5 teams should make it. I just don't think it makes sense.
No, I'm with you more so than others, but yeah, I mean, it ain't
the
gonna
Big
matter.
Ten's playing 8 games.
You know why? It's just not gonna matter this year. You know why? Because Florida is world beaters, baby.
Oh my gosh, bro!
We're the national championship. No,
Can I tell
I'm
you
not calling
something that I've
long
never said
season to go.
Can I tell you something that I've never said to you, but I need to just come clean right now, and I'll post this in the OTS Facebook group later.
Let it out, bitch.
You're the most biased fan I've ever been around.
No, I'm not, bro. You're more biased than me. When I do this stuff, I'm trolling.
No.
Look, here's the deal.
No.
If you want me to take my bias out of it, because this is my honest belief. It's a long season. Kyle Trask looks good. I think that we have the potential to be the best offense in the SEC for sure. Our defense needs work. That's it. But the other stuff is just trolling because I like.
But it's not even just college football, bro.
What else am I biased about?
Harden.
How am I biased about Harden? He's a great player.
Cam Newton.
Okay, well, how am I biased about him? I'm going off. Well, look, there's a difference between being biased and just having your boys back. When Cam got injured, I said, you know what? Maybe he's done.
I'll put it to the test. I'll put it in the OTS Facebook group and just say, who thinks Parker Gailey is biased?
They all are because they're Harden haters. They're going to say that because they're Harden haters.
Okay, but my takeaways is, first off, I think Lane Kiffin's a good fit for Ole Miss. I feel like I did not expect him to score 35 in this game. And I think that Matt Corral was like a good choice. I was afraid that he would go with
John Rice Plumlee.
But I think Matt Corral was the right choice for the kind of style of offense Lane Kiffin likes to.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I think that Ole Miss beats somebody this year that people don't think they should.
Oh, so you're giving Ole Miss credit, huh? See how that works? Remember, you want to shit on Florida, but you want to give Ole Miss credit.
No. That's not true. All I said was it's Ole Miss. They don't have, the greatest team ever. That doesn't mean they can't beat somebody that they're not supposed to.
Oh, yeah.
I think Arkansas probably beat somebody they're not supposed to this year too.
I don't know.
All right, so the game, probably the big upset surprise of the week, Mississippi State over LSU 44-34.
Yeah, that game was fucking wild.
Bro.
Hold
on, let's just get this out of the way. Mike Leach needed exactly one game to set the SEC record for passing yards in a game. 623 passing yards.
Oh, no. I'm going to say that I definitely doubted, like, Mike Leach's ability, like, the air. Like, I thought he would come in and throw the football and do this, that, and the other, but I did not think it would be like this. Okay, so here's my take. Just like right off the bat. If you're a running back, don't ever commit to Mississippi State ever again. Because you will never get a carry. If you're a quarterback, go.
Yeah, like if you're a quarterback, you just need to go.
But secondly is like, I think this is just like, this is a combination of LSU being way overhyped, should have never been ranked 6th in the country, not nearly as good. They've had multiple players opt out. They've had they have a record-breaking, like, non-returning starters from our production from a national championship team. I don't know why the hell this team was so high. I mean, this offseason they've got, Coach O, freaking his wife left him. The team.
That's my thing is, like, this year has shown me even more that the rankings just don't.
Yeah.
Like, they don't.
Whatever. I agree with you. Like, it doesn't mean a thing until you strap up and you go hit somebody. So
All right, bro.
I'm with you,
Well,
brother.
we've been going for right at an hour, maybe a little over. So we'll get off here. But man, I will see you next week for week 2.
Next week, trash
Week
talk.
2.
Y'all better not lose to Auburn. We better not lose to South Carolina.
No, we both need. God, imagine how amazing the game will be if we're both undefeated coming into that game.
Oh, yeah, it would be great. It was like that last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, but
Look
it
at
would
you.
be. No, we had lost South Carolina. We lost South Carolina,
Oh yeah, that's right. And we were undefeated.
but then we beat
lost.
y'all. We beat y'all
I just said that, and then we lost.
3 years in a row. 3 years in a row, we beat y'all. All right, bro.
Hey,
I'll let you
It's
go.
been 40 years in a row since you had a ring. Suck my ass.
That's fine. That's fine. All right, see you, brother. Derek,
I'll see you, bud.
see you later. Thanks, brother.